Hello everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'll be taking you on how to make a beautiful wrap dress. If this sounds interesting to you, why not sit back? Let's dive into this together. Okay, to all our returning subscribers, we love you, thank you. And if you're yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel, please hit the subscribe button, like, share and comment on this video. Thank you. So today we'll be doing a wrap dress. Okay, as you can see, you start with the biggest part of your body. For this tutorial is the hip. So the hip divided by 4 gave us 10. That's 40 divided by 4 gave us 10. So we measured out 10. As you can see, this line from the center front to this point is 10 inches. So we measure it down to the length of our dress. Okay, so the length of our dress is 40, then we added 2 inches for sewing allowance. Okay, so now we are going to start from this part of the remaining paper. We are going to be measuring out the shoulders. The shoulders is 15 divided by 2, which will give us 7.5. Okay, 7.5. All right, so now we have to note that point, and we start also by taking our arm length measurement. For this tutorial, the arm length is 8. You can see me trying to point it out. For the bust line, we are using 10. Okay, for the under bust is 13. For the waist length is 16. And for the hip line, we'll be using 24. You can also use 23. Okay, for this tutorial we are using 24. And for the full length, you can see we have 42. 40 is the length of the gown, while 2 inches is for the seam allowance. Okay, so now we are going to go ahead to do same on the other part so that we can cross the lines together. Okay, don't forget our arm length is 8 and 10 is for our bust line, 13 is for under bust, 16 is for the waistline, and 24 is for the hip line. So we are going to be connecting it together. Okay, so this is the arm length, this is the bust line, and this is the under bust, this is the waistline, and here we have the hip line. So the next thing we are going to do is we are going to bring down, have a straight line from the shoulder down to the arm length. Here we have the arm length. Okay, so that is where we are going to be having our arm length. Okay, now the next thing we'll also do now is to get our neckline. Our neckline, we are going to be using 3 inches for the width and 7 inches for the length. Okay, 7 inches for the length. So we are going to be connecting that with a straight line. This for the 7 inches. Okay, so the next thing we'll be doing now, after getting the neckline, okay, after getting the neckline, is to come down by 1 inch on the shoulder for our shoulder slope. This is 1 inch, come down by 1 inch, and okay, you make a slant back to the neckline. Okay, that's our shoulder slope. Okay, so basically now our round bust, we'll be taking, these are shoulder, these are arm length, bust line, under bust, okay, waistline, and these are hip line. Okay, so what we'll be doing now is to take our round bust measurement here. Our round bust is 38 divided by 4, sorry. It will give us 9.5. Then we had our 2 inches allowance, okay. This is it here. Then at the waistline is 32 divided by 4, which will give us 8, okay, plus our 2 inches allowance, okay. I like adding my allowance on my paper. Now for the hip is 40 divided by 4, which will give us 10, okay, plus our 2 inches allowance, okay. Now at the base of the skirt, we are going to be repeating same. We are going to be using our hip circumference divided by 4, which is 40 divided by 4 to give us 10. If you want it to be a penciled gown, okay, you maintain this 10. If not, you still add our 2 inches. I'll be adding the 2 inches allowance because I don't want it to be a pencil. Okay, so now we'll be connecting it. Okay, we'll be connecting it now. Let me just reconfirm my points. Okay. Alright, so we'll be connecting it now. Sorry, still want to reconfirm here. I have some dots here. Okay, so this is it. Alright, so let's go. So connect this, the down part, to the hip line, okay. From the hip line, you connect to the waist, and from the waist to where you have your bust measurements, okay. So this is it, okay. Can you see what we have? Okay, now at this point you measure the midpoint on your arm length. You try to get the midpoint, okay, and our midpoint is 3.5. so on that 3.5 you go in by half an inch, okay. You go in by half an inch and you try to connect it to your shoulder and make your curve, okay. All right, so can you see what we have? So this is basically it for the measurement. Then your nipple to nipple divided by 2 plus 0.5. For this tutorial we are going to be using 7 divided by 2, which is 3.5, plus 0.5 to give us 4. So from the center front to begin to measure your 4 inches. Can you see what I'm doing? 4 inches from your bust line, okay. 4 inches down after your waistline, 4 inches, okay. Make sure immediately after your waistline is up to 4, okay. 4 inches. So I want to be using the total of 9 inches for my front dart. So this is where my dart will start from. So I'm going to connect it with a straight line, okay. Can you see it? A straight line, okay. So we are going to be on the waistline, we go out by half an inch and also come in by half an inch in order for us to connect our darts, okay. Can you see what I'm doing? Okay, so you also take it up, okay. You also take it up. Now because of this 1 inch here, okay, you are going to be extending another 1 inch here, okay. You can take it when you are measuring when you added your 2 inches allowance, you can take it there, you can add it there, okay? But at this point we'll be adding 1 inch here, okay? So this is the 1 inch. Now you are going to rule it, connect it to this point, back to your bust line, and also here back to your hip line, okay? So don't forget you are cutting from this angle now, not the initial one. Okay, so basically this is what we have for the front. Then at this point you come to your under bust or your bust line, depending on where you want to use, okay? So let's go with the bust line. At the bust line, you take this, you extend this to this point, and from here where you have your neckline, you try to make a curve. You try to make a curve, okay? You try to make a curve, okay? And this curve, you also try to extend it, extend this curve to this line, okay? Can you see what we have here? So this is what you will be cutting out. If you want it to come down a bit, you can use your under bust, but for this tutorial we'll be using the bust line. So basically this is what the front pattern looks like while we move to the back. Okay, so now for our back pattern, all the lines have been ruled out from the bust line, waistline, hip line, and our gown length, okay? We don't actually need our under bust here, so all the lines have been ruled out. We are going to be taking our measurement just from the top like we did at the front, okay? We'll start with our shoulders. Our shoulder is 7.5, that is 15 divided by 2, okay? So we are going to mark it, okay, and we are going to bring it down just like we did at the front, okay? Okay, now for the neckline, we'll be doing a 3 inches neckline. For the width is 3 inches, okay? Three inches for the width, and we are going to be coming down by 1.5. So we are going to connect it together, okay, trying to get it accurately. Okay, so once we are done with this, okay, you do the curve inside just to get the neckline so well, okay? So you use your curve to draft out the back neckline. Okay, so we'll continue. We'll be taking a round bust. Like I said, our round bust is 38 divided by 4, that gave us 9.5. We're going to be marking in 9.5 with 2 inches allowance. And on the waistline, okay, 32 divided by 4 is giving us 8. So we'll be marking 8, okay? Then don't forget your 1 inch dart allowance. Then we also imputed 2 inches seam allowance, okay? Now down to the hip. The hip is 40 divided by 4, which gave us 10. So we are going to be marking a 10 and 2 inches for seam allowance, okay? Don't forget this dress doesn't have a zip, so there's no space for zip, okay? Now you bring down the hip line measurement to the down part of the dress, you mark your 10 and we add our 2 inches allowance. Like I said, if you want it to be penciled, you don't need the allowance at the down part, just your hip round measurement at the base of your dress. Okay, so now let's connect it together. We are going to be connecting the lines together. Okay, so be connecting the down parts to the hip line, and from the hip line up to the waist. Okay, and from the waist, okay, I'm trying to get the actual measurements, okay, just to be sure where I marked the waistline and the hip line. Okay, so now I'll connect the hip, and from the hip to the waist, waist to where I have my bust line measurements. Okay, so this is what we have for the back. Now, like I said, my nipple to nipple is 7 inches divided by 2. It's going to give you 3.5 plus 0.5. That's 4 inches. Now we are going to be marking 4 inches where we are going to rule out for our darts. So we measured from the center front, we measured 4 inches from the bust line down to the waistline and 4 inches below the waistline to give us a total of 10 inches. So I'm going to rule it. Okay, I'm going to connect it with my ruler, okay, on a straight line. Okay, after which on the waistline, you know, we actually added 1 inch for the darts, so we are going to go in by ½ inch and come out by ½ inch, and we draw our darts. Okay, please subscribe to this channel if this video has been helpful to you. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to comment, share this video. Please share this video. Okay, so I'm connecting my darts right now. Okay, just to be sure that's my 4 points. Okay, correct. So I'm connecting my darts. Okay, yeah, good. So this is our back pattern. Okay, we also try to connect the armhole. Okay, you draw your curve on the armhole. Okay, let's not forget that. Yeah, so this is our back pattern, a back pattern for our wrap dress. Okay, so with this we are going to cut it out. So this is how you will place your front pattern on your fabric, and your fabric must be on fold, and after which you need to divide it into 2, because you're supposed to have 2 pieces at the front side, or you cut it 1 by 1, not putting it on fold. Okay, you repeat same for the back pattern. The back pattern will be on fold, but you're going to have just 1 piece. This is what we have at the end of the day. Thank you for watching. Bye.